Fellas, what's up? Another video coming at you. We got a full moon tonight. All the crazy's gonna be out. Hospitals and jails are gonna be full tonight. It's funny. My mom was a nurse growing up, and so she would always say, like, on the full moons, they'd have the most wild cases, just people getting in all kinds of crazy shit. And having several trips to jail myself, I knew that was true on the jail end too. But man, embracing the darkness is something that is foreign in society. It's something that is very, very scary for most of society. We want to be comfortable. We want to have, all our screens and all our comfort and our heat and our AC and, our cool little vehicles and all our favorite spots to eat. And, fridge and a cabinet full of all the food we like and all the snacks we like and all the sugar we like. And a TV full of all kinds of movies to watch and TV shows to get drowned in. An Xbox and a PlayStation to, so we can conquer kingdoms in the digital world. But it's not, for those of us who have awoken, so to speak, I don't really like that word, but who are waking up, not enough, man. It's so fake. It's so empty. And so a big part of the journey on SR, a big part of the path is embracing the darkness. And this just goes along the lines of, retaining the seed is only the start. It's just the beginning. It's just the start. There's so much work that comes along with it. There's so much about ourselves that SR really makes it so we can't stand. So we have to fix. It just puts it in the spotlight. It just puts it on blast right in front of us. We have to, I don't like this anymore. I have to deal with this. Whether it's passive behavior, whether it's just the way we interact with society, the way you don't stand up for yourself, the way that maybe you give other people more attention than yourself. You care more about what other people think. You care more about what other people are doing than what you got going on and what you think about yourself. I know that's where I was. That's where I've been, not too long ago. And so we really have to be unafraid of the shadows, unafraid of the darkness. And that's the one thing that at the beginning of the journey in SR, that's the one thing that retaining the seed gives us, is that strength to face the darkness, to be out here unafraid, knowing there's a point where it flips, where you just know that it's not scary anymore to face the dark. You want it, you welcome it. You bring the things up in you, the negative emotions, the negative feelings, the negative energy. You welcome that because on the other side of that is your healing, is your freedom, is life and life abundant. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, that switch just flips. And, I hope that those of you that are new to SR, you just stick with it. And, if you're still in a place where, because let's be honest, like the way society trains us just to be stimulated all the time and to basically run from what's going on inside, our whole society is built around us escaping our inner world. And there's endless avenues for us to do that. But I think you're here because you're tired of that. And those of you who are already on the journey, you've been tired of that, and you're seeing the fruits now of living not with discipline, but not overindulgence, bringing more balance to your life, not running to every distraction, you know what I'm saying? Not running away when a negative feeling comes up. And so that's something by facing the darkness, is facing ourselves, facing the things. When you think of being bored or not having anything to do, I know for me, like, even still, I still get this, but this is a big thing for me. I was always afraid of being bored. I was always afraid of having nothing to do. I had to plan things out. I had to make sure I had things to do at all times. I really hated being bored. And it was just a fear, it was just a scary thing for me until I dove deeper and realized that it was because I hated being with myself. I absolutely hated it. I needed something to distract me. And so if you're in that boat, that fear is exactly the key. That's the key that's where your next upgrade is. That's where your next level up is facing that fear and diving into the why. Why am I so afraid of this? Why do I not like being with myself? What is so scary within me that my mind will not let me face? And so, it doesn't take big, it just, the avenue that you get there depends on you and what your journey is. I'm a big proponent of walking your own path. And so, yeah, there's helpful things that everybody does, meditation and breath work and exercise and various hobbies, interests, that kind of thing. And so take inspiration from that, take motivation from that to figure what that is for you. Don't copy somebody else's routine or just throw things into your routine because you read it on Reddit or on YouTube. And if you want to try it, that's good, man. That's good, but don't feel like you have to. I'm speaking to people here that are like me, that because of their inner emptiness, because of their lack of direction, really just got lost in the weeds and really got lost in other people's opinions, people that seemed like they had it together, people that were confident. And so, but I want you to know that having traversed that path for 30 plus years, you know what I'm saying? It always ended in emptiness. Whenever I was trying to follow somebody else's routine, somebody else's path, somebody else's plan, it always ended with me getting just absolutely, I would just go crazy. And a lot of times for me, I turn to drugs. Drugs is my thing, drugs and alcohol. And so I would just kind of pop at a certain point, and I never trusted myself. I never trusted my inner guidance, my inner, what do I like? What do I want to do? I picked up this mentality that, man, I don't know what's best for me. I don't know what's going on. I really have no idea what to do. I'm just going to do what everybody else says, and that can be good. Especially if you're deep in addiction, especially if you're deep in very negative patterns. But for somebody who's exploring themselves and spirituality and this path of SR, exploring your masculinity, there has to come to a point where you have to learn to trust yourself, and you have to learn to experiment with things and see how they make you feel, and if they are, and see and feel out if they are beneficial to you. And so, kind of coming back to how you face that darkness, if that's a nice long meditation session, then that's great, man. That's really good. I'm trying to work up to longer meditations myself, but I realize that, and I know from my own experience, that sometimes meditation is too hard when you're at a certain level of consciousness or a certain level of emptiness, you know what I'm saying, on a very low level. And so we got to work our way up, because for me, I'd be like, okay, well, everybody else is meditating, let me try to meditate. But I couldn't meditate. I would get frustrated and upset, and I didn't get it. And so I would just go back into another relapse cycle or something like that, or just start using drugs. And that's what I'm trying to convey here, is that there is a path that's specific for you, that's going to help you, and it's going to feel right. It's going to be hard sometimes, but you're not going to be fighting to constantly stay motivated. You're not going to be fighting to constantly stay on it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to feel divine. It's going to feel like it's for you. It's going to feel like there's purpose there. Like you are on the road to glory. You're on the road. There's a bigger purpose that you can feel in the distance. And so, yeah, embrace the darkness, man. That's where our healing is. That's where everything is. That's where our greatest version of ourselves is, and is on the other side of the shadows and the darkness. And it's so hard, man, because the society does everything it possibly can to keep you away from going to that place, and so, yeah, sit with yourself, find something where, if you like breath work, if you like meditation, if you like just reflecting, here's something I like doing, is just sitting on a porch and smoking a cigar and just reflecting, maybe put on some music, but just really being with yourself and not worrying about anything externally. It's a good first start. If you like cigars, or if you like, cigarettes, whatever, any kind of nicotine, or if you just, whatever you like to do, man, just find what works for you. I don't feel like that's preached enough in the SR community, or even life in general. Everybody wants to have a way that they want us to follow, And so part of this journey is waking up to your own inner masculine, your own inner king, your own inner man, and kind of, you want to take and balance the opinions of others, but you don't want it to control your life. You want to find that source within. So I love you, brothers. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, and just supporting me in my journey. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hope we can keep growing together. We're going to keep growing together. We're going to keep reaching new heights, new realizations, new levels of being, levels of consciousness. And it's just real, you know. We're not trying to put on a mask here and be fake, or try to become this image, you know. Part of this journey, man, is just getting stripped all the way down raw, you know what I'm saying, and then being rebuilt back up with what's real. So with that, brothers, I'll leave you. Love you. Take care.